Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you the fragrances that I wore this week. And I got to go to Calgary, and in Calgary they have a Saks Fifth Avenue and a Nordstrom, which I was super excited about because I got to try out some niche fragrances. So I want to share with you my discoveries and what I'm excited about, and that is it. So let's get into this video. Now I'm going to start with kind of the two that I've had around for a while that you don't need to hear about again. First is Vie Belle La Clatte. This is the Eau de Parfum. This is a citrusy orange blossom, primarily orange blossom fragrance. There's a lot of sweetness to it. It's super feminine, a little bit powdery, long lasting. Like I get at least 6, if not 7 or 8 hours out of this. So excellent fragrance, works well in the summer, but also works for fall and winter. In fact, I can't wait to try it in the fall and winter. If you like florals, but you like a certain amount of sweetness in them, this one's a great one to go with because, you know, some florals can get a lot, like a little too heady. This one, because of the juiciness of the citrus, and it comes across more kind of fruity than citrus in my opinion. But paired with the orange blossom, it just adds that bit of sweetness. So if you're a sweet lover, you need to check this one out. The next fragrance that I used was Dolce Garden by Dolce & Gabbana. Now this is a kind of a syrupy, sweet, slightly tropical fragrance, and although they call it garden, to me it doesn't come across hyper floral. That said, it's got a lot of those tropical florals like frangipani and ylang ylang. But what sets this apart is it has coconut, there's magnolia in it, which gives it a little bit of a waxy quality. I just get a hint of warm orange. In the base there's vanilla, almond, and sandalwood, and I definitely get that vanilla and that almond. So it's kind of a coconut almond. It's a very warm fragrance, tropical, sweet, relaxing. It's very, very sweet, but I really enjoy this one. I get about 5 hours out of this at least. It's pretty strong projector in my opinion, and I can see it being cloying in the heat. That said, I wore it in the heat and it was perfectly fine. So every once in a while you want something that's just like kind of like you feel like you're saturated in some sort of nectar. This is the one to go for. Now, one fragrance that I've been absolutely craving, and it's kind of sent me down a bit of a niche hole, like a rabbit hole. Like I have entered the niche vortex and I'm loving it, but it's like scary because it's so pricey and there's so many amazing ones to check out. I got this one. I had smelt it like quite a few years ago, but finally I was able to get it. Amouage Sunshine. Now, first of all, the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. There's sparklies in it. The cap is magnetic. Like I love it. But the fragrance, I literally crave this. So I sprayed myself in it, enveloped in this warm kind of, like it's got white tobacco flower and there's almond in this, and it's sweet and delicious, but somehow it feels almost humid. And it's not too sweet. This one isn't syrupy sweet like this one, but I was just enveloped in this warmth and kind of a relaxing fragrance all day. It lasts forever on the skin, and after wearing it the other day, I literally can't stop thinking about it, and all I want to wear are kind of warmer summer scents because of this one. So there's a bit of brightness to this one, but when I like sunshine, to me seems like a weird name because it feels a little bit more cloudy, but you know when it's hot and humid and cloudy, that's the vibe that this fragrance gives me. I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. Now the thing about this one is that it certainly isn't mass appealing. It's kind of different. It took me a while to warm up to it. Like at first I'm like, what is this? But then the more I wore it, the more I found that I just love the way it develops on the skin. It gets a little warmer, a little sweeter. I love the fact that it lasts a long time. I love the fact that it feels somehow comforting. I think that you could wear this all year round, and I'm looking forward to wearing it almost nonstop because I literally, like, I can't get enough of this one. So Amouage Sunshine Woman. If you have an opportunity to sniff it, you need to sniff it and experience it. because I just think it's fantastic. The quality is excellent. Longevity, projection, sillage, fantastic. So I'm totally in love with this. Before I go any further, if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to hit that button and join the weird and wonderful family. I would love to have you part of the community, and let's keep going. Now, the next rabbit hole of niche, my friend Hessie, she has the most amazing collection, and she lent me Dolce Amalfi by Xerjoff. It's part of the Cosmerati line, and I am absolutely in love with this fragrance. It's definitely gone on my wish list. This smells different than anything else I've smelt before. So it has quince, cardamom, apple, and saffron in the opening. And then the mid is cloves, incense, and balsam. And the dry down has vanilla, tonka bean, amber, and cedar, and musk. It's kind of like a fruity, slightly citrus. There's a little hint of spice. It smells a little bit caramely to me. So it's got this sweetness. It feels airy and light, and yet there's a depth to it. Like I'm in love with this. To me, it goes kind of caramely, orangey caramely somehow on my skin. And like, seriously, it's phenomenal, phenomenal. The longevity is decent on it too. Like, I can't remember how long it lasted, but it seemed to last forever, and I just thoroughly enjoyed this. This is definitely going on my wish list. Yeah, this is another one that I just literally can't stop thinking about. So these two, and they're both yellow, and I'm wearing yellow. Like, it just can't get any better. It's awesome. But this one, so good. And I can see being able to wear this all year round as well. There's a gourmand quality to it, but it does feel like I think about being on the Amalfi Coast, but it's not citrus heavy. Like, there's a lot more sweetness to it. But oh, it's so beautiful. If you like sweet fragrances that aren't going to be cloying in the summer, that are going to stick around for a while, but that also have some depth to them, this is absolutely perfect. Like, seriously, phenomenal. Now, there's two fragrances that I want to talk about on my little trip to Calgary. The first one was at Nordstrom's. I went and smelt the whole entire Perfumes de Marly line. So quite a few of them that I've smelt before, like Ariana, Casilli, you know, the Delinas, smelt all of those. But I was really curious about ones like Athaliah and Meliora, different ones like that. The one that I ended up spraying on myself was Meliora. Now, first of all, as you can see, I'm showing you the bottle. It's this beautiful kind of light green. At least that's the way it looked in the store. It looked like this kind of light green bottle. Absolutely beautiful. It looks like all the other Perfumes de Marly bottles, but I just loved the shade of green. It looked so feminine and beautiful. Love the fragrance. Now, some people have compared it to Lalique's Amethyst, and I don't agree. For me, in smelling Meliora, I wouldn't, like, sometimes you'll smell a fragrance and go, oh, that really reminds me of this. When I smelt Meliora and I had in mind Lalique Amethyst, and I wanted to see how close it was, I didn't notice that it was similar at all. So I would have to disagree with that comparison. That said, I loved Meliora. There was kind of a slight green quality to it, fruity, feminine, refreshing. It seemed to last a decent amount of time on my skin, and I absolutely, like, I'm in love with it. So that is definitely going on my wish list as well. If you've tried Meliora, tell me what you think. It definitely is sweeter than Amethyst. I can see kind of where they're going with the comparison, but I just think they're so different. I think Meliora is way smoother. It's also way sweeter. It seemed to be more berries, not berries and cream. It smells clear, just like the color of the juice. It seems clear. Same thing with Amethyst. It seems like more of a clear, like almost a tea, whereas Meliora would be a little bit more juicy. So there was more sweetness in Meliora, and it was like just so good. I loved it. And I think it would be such a great fragrance, especially in the summertime. But I can see it being one that I'd like to wear like when I want to feel refreshed. that would definitely be one that I would want to put on. So it's definitely going on my wish list. Then I went over to Saks, Fifth Avenue. It's in the same mall. And I was dressed like pretty grubby because I wasn't planning on going to the mall. So I felt like they were following me around, honestly. So I felt really self-conscious. There was so many beautiful lines in there. I smelt all the creeds, like I smelt so many fragrances, but they had all the MFK fragrances. But this girl was following me around, so I felt really self-conscious to sniff, which normally I don't care. Like I just started chatting with her and she was super sweet, but you know when you feel like they're really watching you? And I had this tiny little clutch purse. It's not like I could have even stuck a tester in there, but anyway, I felt very uncomfortable in there. But anyway, the girl was super sweet. And the fragrance by MFK that I decided to try, because I didn't get to sniff many, but the color of the bottle caught my eye, and it was Aqua Celeste Cologne Forte. So the bottle is just this beautiful blue color. And when I smelt it on the card, I thought, oh, this smells like really, you know, just kind of invigorating. So thought I'd put it on me. So I sprayed it on my hand, and for the first couple of seconds, it smelled good, and then it just went weird on my skin and I wanted to wash it off. It was that no good on me. So that one was a pass. I can't even tell you what it smelled like other than it smelled pretty clean. And I'm not usually a clean fan. Like I don't like clean smelling fragrances. It was just kind of a bust. Wasn't really crazy about the scent. But I can't wait to go to Calgary again sometime. Maybe wearing nicer clothes. They won't follow me around so much. But yeah, it's not often that I feel stalked. And there was 3 or 4 of them in there. I felt like 2 of them were watching me at all times, and there was really no one in there. So maybe that was part of it. But I really felt self-conscious and felt like I didn't belong. So yeah, that's the first time I've ever actually experienced that I can think of. Anyway, that was my little like whatever, but the Nordstrom chicks, super wonderful, super great, and the girl that I talked to in Saks was really, really nice too, but it did feel a lot more snobby in there. Anyway, long story to say, those are my fragrances. The standouts for the week were definitely Meliora, Amouage Sunshine, Woman, in love with this, and then of course Dolce Amalfi. Oh, so good. Both of these, so good. So that was it. What were your hits for the week? I would love to know. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.